Justin, and then Michael.
Brennan, what do you think about this, the challenge that UCLA presents up front?
Yeah, they're really good scheme they got going. They kind of pulled it from the what's in vogue right now in the NFL. They've got that kind of Vic Fangio thing going on. So it'll be a challenge, but we're ready to go attack it and kind of excited to go play against it.
What's your assessment of Big Jonah the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Big Jonah had a penalty in the last 2 weeks. They're holding penalties, and we'll work through them. Not a big deal. I feel like the last one was we needed to give him a little more help with the combination, and they kind of left it early. So we'll get that cleaned up. No, he's a fantastic player for us, and we're excited to throw him back out there again.
It seemed like he kind of struggled a little bit against Oregon State. What was it about their defensive line? What they were doing?
Yeah, they're a talented group. They're really well coached, strong, tough, physical. They play a great brand of defense, and those guys are a good bunch of players.
One question for each. For Brennan, what's your scouting report on Leatu Latu and the Murphy twins?
Those guys they're really active. They have the ability to play in their gap, and they can get out of their gap and still be able to make plays, which is a challenge for us. Yeah, those guys are all over the field. They're very active. They can line up anywhere on the defensive line, and they can be droppers too. So, really talented group, and excited to go take that challenge on.
And for Johnny, what was your assessment of the defense on the fake field goal play and the role that Gunnar Maldonado played?
We knew what was coming because the play before they kind of gave it away. So during the timeout, we just told Gunnar to hang on the backside and Mano to hang on the backside. And then when they did, he was the free hitter there. He was the safety, and he made a great play.
Do you think if Gunnar hadn't gotten him, that Mano would have gotten him before he got to the goal line?
Yeah, at least box the ball back into Mano. Mano was in pursuit of exactly where he needed to be. Yeah.
Two for Brennan. Brennan, just to kind of follow on Justin's question, in terms of Jonah and the spin move, that seemed to be the one thing he struggled with. How can he be better in that respect?
Yeah, our philosophy has always been and will always be inside-out pass protection, and he went outside instead of inside. So, yeah, it's really just going back to basics and fundamentals.
And in terms of Wendell Moe, what have you kind of liked about what he's been able to do the last few weeks in the run game?
Yeah, he's been really consistent. He has great practice habits, and and it showed up on the field. He's really, really consistent, one of our most consistent guys. And he plays with a physical edge, so it's great having him out there.
Johnny, seeing how this is going to be your last time personally facing UCLA as far as a member of the pack, can you recall back to your senior year at Washington State after you broke your jaw?
Oh, whoa.
Coming back from that broken jaw, the first game back, you faced UCLA, and why that was so significant?
Oh, man, I forgot all about it, to be honest with you. But, was going home and playing in front of my family. That was the thing that I remember the most. And anytime you play in the Rose Bowl, man, that's one of those places that you always remember. And it was a fun day, especially back in the 90s. There were some big guys you were going against. So, those are the things I remember.
You made a point of saying, though, to the reporter that this was going to be your Apple Cup, the UCLA game.
Well, because I'm from Long Beach, California, and I was going home to play in front of my family, so they don't get to see me play but once, so that was going to be my Apple Cup.
Good job.
Yeah. It was an ISO play, come right at him, and I boxed the ball back inside, but my head was up, take the helmet right in the chin, and played 3 plays later, and I didn't even notice until I took my mouthpiece. My jaw just went that way. I was like, whoa, this is not right.
So the last 2 games, Johnny, the opponent has scored, and then you guys have played lights out after that. What is the messaging after that point, and what stands out to you when you look at your defense?
I think we gotta, start fast, like what Coach was saying, and I think our guys got to get into the game right away. I think when the last 2 games. I don't remember Washington State coming in 12 personnel because of our dollar package, and 6, straight plays they were in 12 personnel. So we had to adjust. So after that, we adjusted, and obviously we played well after that. And then this game, there were so many personnel we had to prepare for, and so many different, looks that we're going to get. And then once we settle down, our guys start to play play fast.
And what do you think Gunnar Maldonado has improved on the most over the last few weeks?
Everything. His football IQ is unbelievable. Solid tackler. He made 10 tackles for a safety. And he's our quarterback back there, directing traffic and make sure we're in the right coverage. So I'm so happy to have him, and he's been outstanding for us all year.
Johnny, kind of in relation to some of what you were saying to Justin, is it a matter of going from what you've seen on film to suddenly seeing that they're doing something different, and that maybe that first drive for you on defense is based off of film?
Yeah, exactly. And just trying to have a feel for what they're doing. Especially this week, there's a whole different world we're getting into. Obviously Chip's offense is, there's so many things to prepare for. But after a couple of series, then you have a better idea of what they're in, and we start settling down and play.
Is it harder for a defense than an offense to be able to react to what is out there on the field at first?
I think so, because, when we play USC, Washington, and Washington State, those were kind of similar. And then you go to Oregon State, that was a different world. I'm glad we had the bye week to prepare for that. Now we're going into a different world with Chip, because Chip will throw everything at you. So, just the timeline that we have to prepare for a game, is to the offense's advantage, I guess, because, they just run their plays. Us, we got to adjust to what we're going to see.
One question for each. Tacario Davis had 3 pass breakups in that game Saturday night, but they all could have been interceptions conceivably. Do you consider those to be positive plays on his part?
No. Catch the ball. That's 3 picks. You could have been a National Player of the Week. Those are All-American status. Honestly, if you catch all those balls he's dropped, you don't have too many opportunities. We got to make those plays.
And then, Brennan, how would you rate Noah in the area of escapability?
Noah in the area of escapability. I think he's got a lot of pocket savvy. I think, we had a couple of situations, if this is what you're referring to, we had a couple of situations where the pocket kind of collapsed on him. And you got a 5-man rush, and we got, 5 blockers in there. Like, it can happen every once in a while. But he's done a great job outside the pocket. I think he can do just about anything we ask of him.
Brennan, UCLA has had kind of an identity shift this year. They've become more of a defensive program, kind of the personnel they've had. You've had an
You going to tell Chip that? Okay.
The October you guys have had, you faced a lot of teams where you somewhat have to prepare for a shootout. Is there a different mentality, game planning wise, where you have to scheme things differently based on a team that wants to play ball control like that, like UCLA and Utah?
Yeah, there's an awareness of it. Just like this last game, we knew that we weren't going to get 12, 13 drives out of this game plan. And it's just making sure that you're making really smart decisions, during the week in terms of game planning, in terms of, how many plays you're going to carry. There's no reason to carry 300 plays into a game like that. So, when you're going to get 60, 70 snaps at most. So it's an awareness thing for sure. Yeah, you just got to be really smart.
Johnny, just to kind of follow on Mike's question in terms of Tacario, if he had joked here a few weeks ago that he needed to get on the jugs machine, how often are your defensive backs doing that? Is that a daily thing where you have them on the jugs working on their ball skills?
Yes, after practice, and then doing stretching. We're throwing balls at our guys every single day. You know what I mean? So, and then obviously that will be the main focus this week with Coach Richardson and, trying to catch some of those balls during practice and more ball drills, I guess.
Brennan, I guess the narrative throughout James' time here has been that there's times he needs to run the ball to make plays. It doesn't seem like there's that same narrative for Noah. How much does he need to be able to run as well in your system?
I think it's really as needed. It's the defense can dictate that a little bit depending on how many guys they're rushing, how many guys they're dropping, and it's really on a case by case basis, game by game. When Noah can get out and scramble with the best of them, you saw it in his first game in Stanford, made a couple great plays, scrambled and threw the ball and scrambled and ran the ball. So we're not worried about anything that he can do on the field for us.
Johnny, when you look at UCLA and their offense with Garbers, what has he brought to the table that's been different this season for them from the start of the year?
They're very balanced. You know, he's been in the system for 3 years now. He was there when I was there. Very smart kid. You know, I think Chip is, you know, every game he's gotten better. But I mean, not only his arm strength is pretty solid, but also he could beat you with his feet. So we got to do a great job containing. You know, make sure he's in the pocket and contain him this week.
And Brennan, for UCLA's defense, I think they've allowed the fewest chunk plays this season in the Pac-12. What have they done to keep everybody in front of them? What do they do well?
Yeah, they're going to play form a shell coverage where they're going to have 4 DBs across the back end and not give you a chance to get any of those layered routes in there. So and they're going to try to take away a bunch of things, and you just got to know how to attack it and how to scheme it up. And you got to run the ball against it too. So hopefully we can do the good things.
Brennan, what's the key for a running back in terms of pass blocking and knowing when to stay in for the blitz as opposed to leak out?
Yeah. I mean, it's very specific on when he's supposed to stay in and not stay in. But to be a good pass pro guy, especially at the running back position, you have a great awareness of what's going on. You have to know the scheme, and you have to know the adjustments. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of study. It doesn't come naturally to most guys because in high school you're not asked to do that. And our coaches, Scotty Graham and Coach Switz have done a fantastic job getting our guys prepared, and our kids have taken to it. I mean, it's a choice that you have to make that you want to be good at pass protection because it doesn't come natural for running backs most times. Jonah and Mike are fantastic at it, and DJ's made huge strides. And even Speedy's, he'll throw his stuff in there too. Like it's really excited where they are in the pass protection game. It's a little. You got to have a little bit of an attitude to do it, and our guys are showing that.
Came back to try to improve his NFL stock. Scouts seeing that along with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, I'm assuming those are the kind of things that they look for beyond just being able to run the ball well?
Yeah, whenever I was fortunate enough to be in a couple evaluations of the running backs in the draft, it's one of the first things asked, can he pass protect? And it's a lot of times it's a yes or no question. It's a huge attribute to have, along with having special teams background, because they're really only playing one running back at a time. So for Mike to have the special teams background that he's had and just put on tape this year, to show his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, shows ability to pass block and run all of the traditional NFL run schemes. It's a huge benefit to him, and it's really important that he's got the opportunity to show that. Appreciate you guys.
All right, guys.
Happy Halloween.